Okay, so the other thing to look out for obviously is probably you need to check everything out ahead of time. Make sure you're going to the right door at the right place. Different courts can be handled in different buildings. Apparently they do bankruptcy court in another building. So you need to know that you're going to the right place. These are kind of municipal courtrooms where they argue traffic tickets and stuff like that. So we're not going to see too many juries in session, but usually it's a relatively relaxed atmosphere. Again, parking's always going to be an issue. There might be some people taking reports, doing stuff. There'll be a court reporter. Usually witnesses are not going to be nearby, but you'll see some people coming and going. Don't talk about the case with anybody but other jury members. Kind of administrative stuff. Don't talk about a case with anybody but other jury members. Don't discuss it with police. There's going to be a lot of people who they're on the lookout for a biased jury. So, and it depends on what their motivations are, because you never know. If you have a concealed carry permit, it doesn't work in courtrooms. Same with any knives. I only briefly saw the sign in there, but knives, pocket knives, not a place to open carry or grandstand your Second Amendment rights. If you have any kind of weapons that you carry, you also don't want to be handing them off to anybody right outside the courtroom. That's not going to look good. So, the stuff would need to probably not be present when you leave your vehicle to go to the courthouse. And then we would go into, basic parking, basic security procedures. Is that what you may want to do is you may want to have a cell phone with you or nearby, but sometimes they have rules against that, so that you can be just picked up or dropped off right in front of the building. And usually there's some kind of security people out here, not right now, but usually there's some kind of security people out there where you can just say, hey, we're on jury duty. I got a friend who's going to pick me up back here, and you can use the restricted parking very temporarily. Where somebody would say, yeah, we got to pick somebody up who's on jury duty, and it's okay if we just use this as a pick up and drop off point. Very normal, but expect somebody to get your license plate number and check it out. That's also kind of relatively common. Anyway, more later. Here we can see these other people that were involved in some other case, probably in support of somebody, maybe a witness, maybe somebody who's on trial, we don't know. But they're having their meeting here at the same spot where everyone else has their meetings, and then of course they've left the entrance to the courtroom. Very normal, very common. However, if you're on a jury, do not go and make contact with anybody who's out there that looks like they represent some faction or some side in a case. You will be seen. I mean, I don't know exactly where there are, but there are other cameras around, there are people you're going to watch. So if you're on a jury, don't signal, don't do a thumbs up, don't look at them, don't say anything. If you do make contact with the people, do it through a third party. Don't clue too many people in. You would assume that any group that large has somebody in that group who's an informant of some sort to one or both sides in a case. Now, once a case does go to trial, there's only two sides. Prior to a case going to trial, there can be several different sides and several different elements and angles, especially if different witnesses and different people involved had different motivations or rationale for being involved with the case. More on that later. Alright, so oyster shooters at a nearby bar. Better place to finish up that video. But what I was finishing in the last segment was that those people, if you're on jury duty, you don't want to make public contact with anybody who's, obviously one faction or another in a case that you're sitting in a jury on. Not even during the case. If you do indirect contact through a third party, obviously you need to make sure you trust everybody. And also, there's at any given time, there's going to be other cases going on. You watch regular news, you're going to see that, they report on regular cases, and you're likely to see other people with other cases going on at any time you're involved with one. So, in expanding on, you know, whether or not they have contact with people that are in one faction or another, there's also the matter of being informed of all of the relevant issues in a particular case in order to honor every person's right to a free trial in this country. And that's something I'll get into more in the next segment.